I belonged to a wine tasting group, and we took it very seriously. And we would go to each other's house to study wine once a month, kind of like a potluck dinner, taking turns. And we would bring a representation of our target wine for the evening. Pick a country, sweet, dry, white, red, and we would study, because we'd each bring a bottle, but they'd all be so different because the winemakers were different. And we'd study what foods would go with it and what it tasted like, and we did really in-depth notes on all of this because we really were studying wine. And about 3.5 years into it, I had just purchased the ranch, and the conversation started, so when are you putting vines in? We had the vines, and they produced the first year, and it was a small batch, of course, but you start playing with making wine out of that, and so I've been doing that since the beginning. And next week, March 3rd, marks our 22nd anniversary. So we've been doing this a minute and playing it, making wine at the beginning, but then getting serious. We had Bob Young and John Rivenberg out of Bending Branch that helped tremendously through this whole process. They took over on the bigger batches. Obviously, as we got bigger and we were selling more wine, we needed bigger toys. And so I defer to them now, for all of that. We've been doing really well that way. In the struggle on making wine is, of course, when things go wrong, and it's okay to pour out 6 gallons of something that went wrong, but it's really breaks your heart to pour out 60 gallons of something that went wrong, or 600 gallons of something went wrong. I'm not trying to be everything to everybody. I run out. We sell out of wine, which is a good, bad problem, My lineup changes because what's available, what's been newly bottled, what I sell out of, it changes. So there's a refreshing of the lineup. I call it Blanco prices. We're not high priced. I think it's a good quality wine for the price. We have accessibility. I'm not on the 290 wine route, which I really wanted to be, but the real estate to have a business on that would just kill me, especially in the COVID days where things were slower. I needed to be different, and Blanco had no winery. So I was the first winery of Spring Branch, and now there are 3, and I'm the first winery of Blanco. One of the happy things about being a winery and not a bar or just a tasting room is that there are different rules. And the TTB and the TABC, put out different rules during the COVID pandemic. And we did not have to shutter our doors or become a restaurant. So we were fine there. The patrons wanted their wine, and so we did it to go. I felt kind of like Sonic, where we put our roller skates and go on outside and serve everybody at a drive-up, but it worked. So we did car-side service, and we kept it going. So although you would think that business had slowed down, we actually doubled our business.
And we tasted a little bit of the filling yesterday. It tastes just like sweet corn.
I get a lot of feedback from customers, especially the ones that go up to 90 or, participate in the other tastings and other places. And they want it to be not too expensive. They don't want to be taken advantage of. They want variety, and I guess they want to be listened to. It's almost like being, not the shrink, almost like your hairdresser. People want to talk to you and exchange ideas, and be validated, and doing that over wine. I've a lot of whiskey drinkers come in here and they're, they don't want to drink wine. Okay, you don't have to drink wine. It's okay, no, it's okay. And then they'll end up wanting to drink wine, and then they'll buy bottles before they leave, and it's amazing the transformation when you say it's okay. Just come here and lounge. I encourage lounging. So I mean, we want to open on the ranch. I mean, that was the original plan. Once we got the vines going, we were going to have a tasting room on the ranch. And then that will still happen. The timing was postponed these last couple of years because of COVID, but I'm hoping we make some inroads this year to get that going so we can have a tasting room there. It will not affect the tasting room here. It just broadens what's available. And I think it's always nice. People want to sit and drink wine and look at the vines, and they really cannot do that here. This is such a small space. But this is more of a coffee shop feel, and it would be a completely different experience if we had a tasting room at the ranch. No matter what the business, I would recommend that you don't overspend. Don't go out and buy all the colors of coffee cups and t-shirts that you need to market your business. Don't start little. Don't do too much too soon. Small bites, and that's because I just retired 40 years an accountant. I have that I'm bringing to the table. So I think that's important. Business owners fail in the first year or two because they overextend themselves. They're expecting way too much for income, and it's not going to be there. And it's going to come in drips and dribbles, and so that's how you have to spend.